Hey, Sprinkler Dude, how do you have your van set up? Is the number 2 question I get. Only behind the number 1 question, is that Sawzall still working? And yes, it is. It's just dead right now. Let me show you how my van is set up now in 2025. I've done this video before a couple years ago, and there was a different setup in here, slightly different. I've made some improvements. Let me show you. All right, let's start with my favorite part, is this side over here, because this is the first door that opens when you open the van. I wanted to make sure I had all of the tools I needed to grab real quick, especially this multimeter, which is used second to the shovel in the field. I'm at controllers with this multimeter trying to figure out problems all the time. Super useful to have it right there ready to go. All my other hand tools are here: screwdrivers, toners, voltage pens, the whole 9. Then I have a mini shovel back there for when I'm not feeling well and I need to dig a tiny hole. Tiny bucket right here full of solenoids and all kinds of other gadgets that I will use in the field. On this side is my original tool board that I built out of a board that came out of the bottom of a pump. I used self-tapping screws and mounted it to the shelf, and then I used electrical conduit straps to put the tools onto the piece of wood. And that still works today. But that's the second door that opens on the back of the truck. I want to make sure that I can get to those quick. I kept my tools over there. I'd have to open up both doors to get to it. I know, sounds like I'm complaining about nothing, but I'm an efficiency nut, and every little thing I can do to make my day easier, I'm going to do it, which leads me to the next thing I did. You saw this in the previous video. I put pipes strapped to the shelves, and those are only strapped to the shelves with 5 zip ties each, but they're not going anywhere. And now I can put all of my shovels and those types of tools. I have a meter key over here. I have a valve probe over here. I have my hand pump over there for when the battery dies on this puppy, which is the Milwaukee stick pump. By the way, you can keep that on your truck in a 4-inch piece of pipe, and it'll just sit there and won't go anywhere. In the back of the truck here, I've got my big meter key so that I can turn down either isolation valves or larger meters. I've got my 521 locator right here, and pretty soon you're going to see the 551 locator right next to it. I'm waiting on it to come in now. On the left-hand side over here, I've got 1-inch fittings on the bottom shelf, 3/4 fittings on the middle shelf, and 1/2-inch fittings on the top shelf. Any fittings larger than 1 inch go into the baskets over there. They're sorted in another way. We'll get to that in a second. On this side, we've got male adapters on the bottom and bushings in the middle there, and then heads on the top. I'm just missing rotors right now. That big toolbox right there has got some sockets and other miscellaneous tools. I will tell you that if you don't have the right tool for the job, you will be kicking yourself for not bringing it with you. So there's a bunch of odds and end type tools there that don't need to be in my quick access area. They're in there for special jobs, and boy, do I when those jobs come up and I need that tool, it comes in use. I got my drill over here too. My 2 sawzalls are right here. That's actually an electric chainsaw, handheld, so that I can cut through tree roots, and that little blue one right there. I have a handheld pressure washer. It's just not on the truck today. All right, on this side over here, we keep all the nozzle totes, and you can see they're all labeled. They're labeled by brands. RC means Rainbird City Water. TC means Toro City Water. Those are our high efficiency nozzles. Then the RP and TP are your standard MPR nozzles. P stands for pump. And then we've got our MP rotators right there in that case. I got an electrical tote for whenever I'm doing any electrical work, and I've got a funny pipe tote for anytime I'm doing head work. Has all the different funny pipe fittings I need in it. I highly suggest you keep your funny pipe fittings in a tote like this so that you can put it into a cart. That's the one item that you're not seeing on my truck today because I let somebody borrow it, but I also carry a cart on this truck. So when I go to do work, I grab everything I need, put it in the cart, and I play a game of how many times do I need to go back to the van, and I win if the number is 0. Remember I was telling you about the larger fittings. I've got my slip fixes up here, larger T's, larger head T's, larger elbows, larger couplings. All of that's right here. We call this the technology shelf. That's where we have all of our controllers lined up. We got our valves in there. We got pump start relays, HC flow meter. All of the technology goes on these shelves. I've got wire up there for all the different types of jobs we do. And then I got my nifty, you can hardly see it, but the black umbrella right there that's attached to the back of the van. It's a magnet umbrella. That thing comes in handy all the time. Always have a hose on your truck. You never know when you're going to need one. Definitely bring it. And the one thing that I didn't explain yet that was different from the last video, big time, is I used to keep my pipe in this makeshift pipe thing that I had. Now I'm using 3 ratchet straps to keep them off the ground, and this has been working perfectly. I mean, as the truck stops and goes, they react with it. It's perfect. So highly recommend doing this as well, along with those pipes, that little rack on the wall there, those cases over there. All of these things will make you a lot more efficient in the field. And this is how SprinklerDude's van is set up. Oh, I want to point out the Pro 900 is right there.